we say that the Prophet ﷺ has told us in the authentic narration in Bukhari and Muslim, those who see me in a dream have truly seen me. For indeed the shaitan cannot what? Cannot take my form. And there are other narrations that say that he will see me, and there are different interpretations on what that means. What's important is that the Prophet ﷺ, he didn't say it about any other prophet or messenger. So we don't know. And we stop with the text. If he said the shaitan cannot resemble me, then we say the shaitan does not take the form of Muhammad ﷺ. Is it possible for the prophets to receive this as well? Of course, Allah has power to do all things. Is it a means of disrespect? Shaitan playing around, taking the figure of other people perhaps. But we don't know specifically. So we say is that Muhammad ﷺ said that about himself, ﷺ. We don't know about the other prophets and messengers, la'allahu, perhaps. But we don't know. This is from the affairs of the unseen, in which there is no reasoning. There's no what? There's no human reasoning when it comes to ghaib. Before we move on to the next question, if you see these things in the dream, along with the other authentic descriptions of the Rasul al-Kareem alayhi salatu wasalam, and in his character, then perhaps you've seen the Nabi al-Kareem, and inshallah is a means of glad tidings. However, what do you do when you're awake and when you're up? As the Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith of Abu Hurairah and Jami' of Imam al-Tirmidhi, he says that towards the end of time, the believer's dream will be sharp, extremely accurate. Very seldom will the believer's dream be wrong, the interpretation of it. He says, وَإِنَّ أَصْدَقُهُمْ رُؤْيَا أَصْدَقُهُمْ. He says, and those who have the most truthful dreams are those who are the most truthful when they're awake. So how do you live? Do you follow the sunnah when you're alive? Do you practice Muhammad ﷺ's way when you're awake, walking and talking? That's going to have an effect on how you, or if you see him in a dream. There's some Muslims, unfortunately, they have illusions of grandeur, without a doubt. They're far from the deen, far from the sunnah. And he says, I saw the Nabi al-Kareem. Wallah, one brother told me in New Jersey, he told me, he walked up to me, he said, I saw the Nabi al-Kareem in my dream. He came over my house, he ate lunch with me. He sat with me, he drank my tea. Wallah. He ate my food, he sat down, he took both my hands, he grabbed my hands, his knees were with my knees, he looked at me and he told me this and he told me that. Wallah. And then he says, Mufti, can you lead my Hajj group next year in Medina? That's what he said. At the end of the day, a Muslim is far from the sunnah, but yet and still, he's going to be honored with having this magnificent dream about the Nabi al-Kareem. So detailed, so beautiful. Everybody see the point we're trying to get to? Wallahu ta'ala alam. However, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the ability to do all things. Also, for further benefit, we have done a brief series on dream interpretation from Sahih al-Bukhari on hadithsahih.com in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.